Today on the spot, we get a look at the new releases hitting store shelves and catch up with what's new on PlayStation Network and Wii Shop channel. Jody Robinson drops by with the community spotlight, and Sean McInnes sits down with a demo of Transformers War for Cybertron. Today on the spot.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Today on the Spot for Tuesday, April 6th. I'm Sophia Tong, and joining me is Chris Waters. Hey Chris, how's it going?
Hi Sophia, it's going pretty well.
Yeah?
Pretty chill. It's a relaxing week in April. Not a whole lot on the fresh new video game front.
That's true. I think everyone's just like on spring break and took off.
There's been a lot in the sort of first heavy half of the year. We're in a little bit of a lull, but before too long it's going to pick up again.
Yes, that's true. But we do have cool stuff in this show because we're giving away a couple of Spider-Man posters.
Slick.
Yeah, and on the back you have Spidey in like another outfit.
Pick your flavor.
Yes, so be sure to stay tuned to the end of the show for that because we'll be giving these guys away. But first, let's check in with Tor Thorson for the latest headlines.
Hey everybody, it's your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, April 6th. I'm Tor Thorson. Fans of spandex rejoice. It looks like the massively multiplayer superhero role-playing game City of Heroes is getting a full-fledged follow-up. Korean publisher NCSoft has filed for a patent with the, wait for it, U.S. and Patent and Trademark Office for a new game with a mysterious title of City of Heroes 2. The original sold over 500,000 units in the U.S., and its semi-sequel City of Villains sold nearly 250,000 copies domestically, according to the NPD Group. City of Heroes was developed by Cryptic Studios, which recently released Star Trek Online and Champions Online. However, since Cryptic was bought by France-based Atari in 2008, development duties for City of Heroes has been handled by Paragon Studios, the Silicon Valley-based shop formerly known as NCSoft North. Founded in 2007, the studio has grown from an original roster of 20 employees to more than 50 people, and that's a number that will presumably increase if City of Heroes 2 goes into full-fledged development. In other news, it looks like the analyst prophesized brain drain at Infinity Ward is happening. This week, the LinkedIn profiles of the studio's lead designer Todd Alderman and lead software engineer Francesco Gigliotti showed that both have left the Encino, California-based studio. Both Alderman and Gigliotti joined Infinity Ward in 2002, approximately 1 year before Activision acquired the studio and the first game in the $3 billion Call of Duty franchise shipped for the PC. Alderman's departure in particular should be considered a substantial blow to the studio, as his profile indicates that he was the lead designer for the franchise's Herald multiplayer component. Activision had not responded to requests for comment to the departures as of press time. Well, that was interesting. Who wants to play Battlefield Bad Company 2? Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, April 6th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
Thanks for the update, Tor. Now, it's a quiet week this week, but there's still a few things coming out, so let's see what's happening this week on new releases. The week of April 5th, 2010 may not be the biggest release week of the year, but it will see the unveiling of a couple of DLC packs for some very high-profile titles. First up is Borderlands Double Game Add-on Pack. If you've been playing Borderlands without an internet connection, or you just have a serious aversion to buying Microsoft points, you can now get your hands on the zombie island of Dr. Ned and Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot. The brick-and-mortar add-on pack is only $10 and contains all of the content found in the downloadable versions of these add-ons, but it will leave you wanting February's release of the Secret Army of General Knox. It is also available for PC and Xbox 360 owners only. Also available this week is DLC for BioWare's Mass Effect 2, Kasumi's Stolen Memory. This add-on brings a new character into the fold, Kasumi Goto. Described as a master thief, she'll come along with her own loyalty mission, in which players aid her in retrieving information from the criminal mastermind Donovan Hawk. This pack also introduces a new research upgrade and a flashbang grenade, which temporarily blinds enemies. That wraps up our releases for the week of April 5th, 2010. For more information on these or other releases, please refer to their respective game spaces. All release dates are based on retailer listings and are subject to change. So that's what's happening this week on new releases. Now, normally we would update you guys for the PlayStation Network, but on Saturday. But instead, they kind of missed it this week because
there was some distractions going on at that show.
I think so.
Brian and Sean got a little sort of wrapped up in their own little worlds.
I like this PSP game, Dead or Alive Paradise. I think they were
game.
Game.
Yeah, and then Show and Nikki, there's just a lot of
Eruptions.
tiny garments yes, and allusions to things that are best left to the weekend show, really. I mean, during the week we keep it professional.
Of course, all the time.
And so, without further ado, last week, this week, what's new on PlayStation Network?
This week on PlayStation Network. For downloadable games, go for some old-school styled basketball with NBA Unrivaled for $14.99. The game is modeled after classic arcade basketball games and features the 2009 to 2010 NBA season's teams and player rosters with current stats, logos, and jerseys. Keeping it retro, don't miss PS1 classic TNN Motorsports Hardcore 4x4. With a whole 6 vehicles to choose from, you'll race through different environments such as snow, sand, and highways. The game is available for $5.99. For downloadable PSP games, take your fight on the go with BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. The game features all of the modes from the console versions, including Arcade, Versus, and Story, as well as the all-new Shop and Legion modes. This game is available for $24.99. PSP-owning trivia junkies won't want to miss Buzz Master Quiz. Priced at $15.99, Buzz Master Quiz includes over 3,000 questions on topics including music, movies, TV, sports, and more. There's also 3 multiplayer modes to challenge your friends with. Don't have any friends to play with? Then check out Dead or Alive Paradise for $29.99. On your own private island, you'll be surrounded by the scantily clad girls from Dead or Alive, where you'll be able to mingle, flirt, and take snapshots of them. Store pictures and videos in your private album, where you can view and edit them anytime. In the downloadable content section, there's a couple of freebies with Ultimate Warriors Pack 3 for Dragon Ball Raging Blast and Quest Pack 3 for Dynasty Warriors Strike Force. There is also The Taxidermist, a prequel story for Heavy Rain priced at $4.99, and the Chapters of Deceit add-on for Army of Two The 40th Day. This pack includes 2 new campaign levels entitled Collateral Damage and The Assassination, and is priced at $9.99. And finally in video, there's trailers for Kane and Lynch 2, Major League Baseball 2K10, MLB 10 The Show, and Mafia 2. That's what's hot this week. Check back every Saturday for the latest this week on PlayStation Network.
So now they're all caught up with what's happening last week on the PlayStation Network. So with this week, Community Spotlight. I know you guys played Battlefield last week. And now
That's right. We had a real successful game night. A lot of folks came out and played some Bad Company 2. Thanks if you joined, and if not, missed out. Bummer.
Yeah.
But you get another chance this week. Game night again, Wednesday night from 5 to 7 Pacific time is going to be Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on in the community. Jody put together a community spotlight, so let's check it out.
Hey there, this is Jody Robinson, GameSpot's community manager. This week's community spotlight focuses on the box art contest, game night, the member spotlight, and more. This week's member spotlight goes to Enreal for his music compositions in the PlayStation Home. The music he made in the game was so good that we'd love to have him over as a DJ for a GameSpot party. For more details, drop by the forums page and click on the Members Spotlight area. The latest edition of System Wars Monthly is packed with industry news and community happenings. There's even a fancy PDF version for those of you who like scrolling a PDF file instead of a forums post. In other news, our box art activity allows GameSpotters to test their knowledge of Star Wars video game box art for a chance to earn an exclusive emblem and more. Lastly, if you happen to own a Nintendo Wii and are often competitive in Mario Kart Wii, you'll want to drop by to participate in Game Night this Wednesday, April 7th, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. That's all for this week's Community Spotlight. This is Jody Robinson signing off.
Thanks again to Jody and all our community members for the help on that one. Now, up next, Sophia, it's another This Week On.
Yes.
And I understand it's going to be your second voiceover segment of the show.
Yeah, I do like the voiceovers. So,
Now, do you have any tips for, pronunciation for aspiring voiceover artists?
well, you should probably know how to read.
Okay.
That's always a plus.
Reading.
I
Yes, very
have a
important.
good script writer. That's true. I don't write these.
Oh, really? You're just the vocal talent.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
And then you have to say it a bunch of times until they let you pass.
Let you go out of the vocal room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of keep you locked.
do it again. But anyway, there's stuff actually coming out this week on the Wii Shop channel, so let's take a look. This week on the Wii Shop channel, WiiWare is overrun with fish. Priced at 500 Wii points, Fishy Fishy is a game that can be played with just one button, which makes it slightly too difficult for a penguin. You'll play as a fish that has to eat constantly as you make your way through more than 100 levels across 7 game modes. Play solo or up to 4 people on the same screen. On Virtual Console, old-school shooter fans won't want to miss Ironclad. Priced at 1,000 Wii points and supporting 2 players, this side-scrolling shoot-'em-up will have you blasting your way through hordes of enemies. There are different weapons to choose from with plenty of upgrades to make your ship capable of taking on any foe. Moving on to DSiWare, there's more of the Game & Watch collection. Prevent pedestrians from falling through holes in manhole, move around the construction site while avoiding falling tools and helmet, and rid the neighborhood of moles and vermin. Each of these games are priced at 200 DSi points. Also on DSiWare is Mr. Driller, Drill Till You Drop. Featuring the classic gameplay that the series is known for, you'll have 3 game modes with over 40 stages of drilling action. Choose from 6 different drillers and drill your way through colored blocks while avoiding falling objects. There's also the Dry Stones mode exclusively for the DSi, where you drill through stones to collect the rare dry stones. Mr. Driller is available for 500 DSi points. So that should keep you busy for the week. Check back next time for the latest this week on Wii Shop Channel.
All right, folks, now as much as that fishy game compels me to launch into like a Sesame Street throwback skit, it's daily demo time, so I'm going to keep that in check. Up next, we've got Transformers: The War for Cybertron. Follow-up to last year's Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen takes the fight to Cybertron, the Transformers' crazy planet out there in the depths of space. How's the gameplay shaping up? Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, Sean McInnes here, and now it is daily demo time. We're going to have a look at Transformers: War for Cybertron. I'm currently joined by Matt Teager from High Moon Studios. Matt, how you doing?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you join us. So Matt, you guys are working on the first Transformers game in a number of years that's not tied to a movie. How are you guys taking advantage of that?
Actually, it's been fantastic for us because we're going to get to go to Cybertron, homeworld of the Transformers, and because we were focused on purely the gameplay side of things, we haven't had to kind of sync up with any other materials. It's proven to be very liberating for us making the game.
Cool. Well, we've got it booted up right here. Let's take a look at the gameplay right now. All right, so set the foundation for us. What are we seeing right here?
So what we're seeing right now is Iacon. This is the home city of the Autobots, and we were really excited to create this environment because Hasbro's never really let anyone go to Cybertron in this full detail, this 3D realization. And that's even extended to how we redesign the characters. Because remember, they've never been to Earth in our story. Our story is a prequel to anything you've seen in the movies, or really a prequel to the cartoons from 1984.
Sure.
So full redesign on all the characters, brand new and original. And one of the things that I'm very excited about in the game is it's a 3-player co-op game at all times. So you can play with 2 AI buddies, but you can also be playing with 2 real friends. Drop in, drop out co-op. So the story that's happening right now is that there are 2 separate campaigns, an Autobot and Decepticon. In the Autobot campaign, Optimus is not the guy in charge. And in fact, people just call him Optimus, not even the Optimus Prime that we know from the movies.
Okay.
So we're going to follow his path as he goes through defending Cybertron and ultimately making some very tough decisions. And where we finish with him is he realized that he is the Prime, he is Optimus Prime. The other thing that I've been very excited about with this project is that, again, as we were talking about not being tied to a movie, the core foundation of this game is actually the gameplay, which we then layered Transformers on top of. So if you played third-person shooters before, the controls are going to be real comfortable to you, right? Because we go with the standards that people know and are used to. 2 weapons that you can switch between any time, a segmented health system, fine aim, all that stuff that you're really used to, but then we layer the gameplay strategies of transformation and cool Transformer-based abilities on top of that.
Now, you guys took some slight artistic liberties with those character designs. I know Optimus, he's not a semi-truck, he's a hover car in here, right?
Yeah. So, we originally started with some much more Earth-centric designs, and what we realized is we had to create a style and a look that made sense with the property but also worked for gameplay. And so hover cars made a lot more gameplay sense, so that you can use your boost mode and your hover mode much faster and transform much more frequently. So we did take some liberties, but stayed within the guardrails of what the Transformers canon is.
We've got a pretty good look at the game right there, but you guys also have boss battles in here, and we would be remiss if we didn't show that. So let's go ahead and load up a boss sequence right now. Matt, what exactly are we seeing here? That looks like a giant building right there.
Well, it is actually. It's Omega Supreme, right? He is the biggest, most badass Autobot, right? He is who we've been dealing with for the whole level before this, right? Not just a kind of one insular boss battle, but bosses in this game are huge, and not just kind of in the story, but also physically very large, right? We have got a big boss on the other side too. And so the boss battles are all about kind of hammering on this big giant dude. He's destroying the world, using my abilities, and oftentimes you really need to utilize your vehicle mode to avoid damage or to do special things within the level.
So that's your look at the War for Cybertron campaign. Obviously, co-op is a big part of that, so multiplayer is a big focus for you guys, but you also have competitive multiplayer, right?
Yes. We've been pretty tight-lipped about what kind of multiplayer we put together. All we've really said is that it's a big part of what we've done, and we're real excited to now explain what that is. And multiplayer is a full-on competitive multiplayer experience that includes some things I think people are going to love. Customize your own Transformers, meaning you can take a guy, paint him up the way that you want to. There's multiple chassis that you can choose from, and you can really own that character. It's the first time in any Transformers game. And that in and of itself I think would be great.
Right.
But on top of that, we also have 4 character classes that you level up and create builds in a style that's similar to Call of Duty. So you're making choices for each of your classes based on what weapons you want to take in, what abilities, what passive abilities, and what vehicle type you take.
Great work there. Last question I've got for you is Transformers War for Cybertron. Which systems are you developing it for, and when do you expect it to be released?
360, Xbox 360, PS3, and the PC. We're coming out this summer.
All right. Thank you very much, Matt.
My pleasure.
All right, and that is your look at Transformers War for Cybertron. On with the rest of the show.
Now it's for your favorite part of the show, trivia. We've got a couple of posters to give away.
Check it out. They're two-sided. So on this side, you got classic-looking Spider-Man. I like this side because it kind of looks like he's in 3D with that suit. I mean, it's like, whoa,
Chris,
check it out. He's right out.
You just need the glasses. Did you learn anything from...
What? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, anyway, the back of it looks like you get this Rocketeer version of Spidey. So the question,
leathery.
if you want to win one of these, is what is the name of the editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle? So if you think you know the answer, you can submit it to us at onthespot@gamespot.com or submit it in the answer trivia module on the side of the page.
So good luck to all you aspiring poster winners. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Today on the Spot. Don't forget, Wednesday night, 5 to 7 Pacific time, Mario Kart Wii with GameSpot staff. Check out the community page for details.
All right, and so for all of us on Today on the Spot, I'm Sophia Tong.
And I'm Chris Waters.
See you guys next time.
Community members for those... Oh, I was going to say something. Never mind.
So far back that Chris is in there.
Hi, guys. As of course you
He's all like, hey. So keeping with the theme of nothing coming out.
We're going to have our third segment on what's coming out.
Oh, no, what's not? Tune in Thursday when we go on location for Split Second, and this week on Xbox Live.